How many times have you felt guilty for saying no to people that come to you requesting for financial help? Or how many times have you been unable to say no to people requesting for money from you when deep down inside you really wanted to say no, but you accepted, knowing very much it's overwhelming to you? Well, today we are learning about setting financial boundaries, and you're very much welcome. Hello, welcome to this YouTube channel. I am Mary Lillian, and if you are new here, you're welcome. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos. On this channel, we talk about money, relationships, and self-growth. And in today's video, we are learning about setting money boundaries. Yes, if you remember well, our previous videos, we have been learning about money, how to save, why save, how easy is it for you to save, and we are continuing with a series regarding money. What does money boundaries mean to you? Or what are some of the things you have put into place to help you manage your money well? Well, for me, money boundaries or financial boundaries basically mean the limits I put in place to balance my relationship with my loved ones, my friends, my family, and my money in a way that does not affect my financial goals, but also it does not affect my relationships with them. So today I'll be sharing with you some tips I use or have put in place to manage my finances. I hope you find them helpful, and maybe you can also apply them in your life. So well, if you're someone that has been struggling with setting financial boundaries, this is for you. Tip number 1, set clear financial goals. You guys, if you don't know what you want to spend your money on, you're going to spend it on anything. And I mean anything, including things that are not very important. So you have to be clear even before you get that money. What do you want to use it for? What are the important things that you want to achieve that require money? And then set them clearly and know. So that by the time the money comes, you know what portion to offer to savings towards that thing. You know what portion to offer to your needs that you must meet, the daily ones especially. And then what can go to your wants, which now you can use maybe for friends, family, and everyone else that may need financial help, even for donations and charity. If you haven't watched my previous video, there's a video where I share how you can portion your money into savings, needs, and then wants, and it makes it quite easy to spend it. Now, tip number 2, you must prioritize your goals. Yes, we have so many important things. You guys, important things to do with money never cease. There's always something new coming up. There's always something important you have to do with money. But now you have to prioritize and see which one is urgent. Because yeah, we already know they are all important, but which one is very urgent that you want to use your money for? First deal with that. And then what is not very urgent can wait. Then maybe from there you can see what remains to offer someone who may need help. The third thing, you must have money conversations with yourself. Please have money conversations with yourself. Be very honest with yourself. What are you able to afford? And what can't you afford? Don't look at other people's lifestyles and admire them. I mean, admire, but first be honest with yourself. Can you afford it? There are so many luxurious things that we want, and they are really, really good to have. They are really, really important. I'm not saying they are useless. The question is, at this moment in your life, is that something you can afford? If not, be honest with yourself. Please release yourself and say, you know what, Lillian, at this moment, I cannot afford this. So I'll put it on hold. For now, this is what I can afford. This is what I can spend on. And this does not only stop at you. Go and have these conversations with your loved ones. Have them with your families. Have them with your friends that usually depend on you for finances. Tell them or let them know that, you know what, in this moment of my life, I can only afford to offer you this kind of help. I can afford to give you this amount of money and not this. I cannot afford to pay tuition for my siblings. I cannot pay their school fees at the moment, even if it's to your parents. Otherwise, you're going to be very, very frustrated. You're going to be very overwhelmed. You're trying to please people, and people are thinking you have money because you're not saying it out that you don't have it. You can't afford whatever they're asking you for. And so you go beyond your limits to make sure that you please them, you don't disappoint them. And in that process, with the frustration and of being overwhelmed, you could end up resenting them or straining that relationship. So, and decide what you're able to facilitate for others and for yourself, and what you cannot, and what you can put on hold. Number 4, learn to say no. Yes, you had me right. Learn to say no. And this may sound easy, but it's not. Very, very many people don't know how to say no, especially people that are close to them. They feel like they will disappoint them. They feel like they will hate them. They will react negatively. But please, don't overstrain yourself because you want to please other people. We have already mentioned in the previous point that be honest with yourself. So, if you know for sure you cannot afford something, please don't do it because you're going to frustrate yourself a lot. You're going to overwhelm yourself, you know? How many times have you said yes to people when deep down you really wanted to say no? Deep down you knew you cannot actually offer this kind of help they're asking for. So if you're in that position, from today onwards, learn to say no and be comfortable with saying it. Don't feel guilty because it's your right to protect your money. It's your right to partition it. It's your right to know how to spend it because you're working for it. And you also have needs as a person. You have wants, you have goals to achieve. So you shouldn't let other people into your way. Of course, there are circumstances where you're going to strain yourself a bit to meet them because maybe they are very urgent, very important. And you know, it is really, really, really needed. But things that are not very urgent from other people, things you know that without you their lives can still move on well and your life can still move on well, please don't go beyond your limits. Otherwise, you're going to break. Yeah. The other tip, please and please don't lend money that you are not willing to lose. Don't lend out money you're not able to lose to, lend out money that you're very comfortable with losing. You know that if this person does not return this money, I am okay. I'll be fine. We know that there are a number of people out there that don't return people's money. So in your process of pleasing people, showing them that you have money, you give them money hoping they'll return, and then they don't. What results into that is you're going to spoil that relationship. You may destroy the friendship or the family ties. So there are people that are very close that you can actually trust, and if I give this person this money, I know they will return it, and you're sure. So even if you cannot afford to lose that amount of money you're giving them, you're also very sure that they'll return your money. That's okay. But if you know you can't trust someone that much to give them that amount of money, please don't. If they come requesting, let's say for 100,000, give them what you're able to afford to lose. If you know 100,000 is a lot of money for you, well, have an honest conversation with yourself and say, how much of that can I actually give them and not mind if they don't return? Maybe 20,000 and say, you know what, I am unable to give you 100,000 right now, but I can help you with the 20 maybe, and you find someone else to top up for you. Or I can help you with the 50,000, and then someone else helps you with it. Because deep down you know that if they don't return your 50,000, you're good. But this has happened to me a lot, and before, I remember when I was still at university, I had a close friend that would always request for money from me and would never return. And I would be very frustrated. But over time I learned that, you know what, it's my fault because clearly over time they have not returned this money and I've continued to give them. So as a student, what can I afford to give out and not feel bad if they don't return? And I've used that principle all through up to date. I have relatives that will call, request for money, and I'll weigh in and say, I know so-and-so will not return my money, so maybe I should give them a 50k. If they don't return it, I'm good. And it happens that they actually don't return the money. And I'm okay. They'll never see me calling saying, hey, by the way, my money, what, no. And we shall still keep talking. Because I know, I give them knowing, they may not return it and I'm okay with it. Yeah. The next tip is please learn to separate your emotions, your feelings from your financial goals. This is very common also. So many people are very kind. Very, very kind to the extent that they'll give out even when they themselves are not having enough. I used to be that person when I used to be at university again because I literally learned some of the financial discipline I have when I was completing university. That's why I keep referring to it. So I used to move in town and I move on the streets and see these children that keep asking for money. And even when I have just that, maybe for myself or whatever, I will get into my back straight and give them some money. But deep down I'm like, oh my God, that's the money I had. Oh my God, I was going to use that money for this. Oh my God, the entire time I'm having regrets, I'm like, okay, but now what am I going to do? That's not healthy. That's not right. If I'm going to help someone, I should not do it at the expense of my own living, my own well-being. I should be able to help someone out when me myself I'm also okay. So now I learned that yes, I'm kind, but I have to only give when it's appropriate. When I know that if I give this, I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm going to still afford my supper. I'm going to afford whatever I'm going to need in the next maybe a day or 2 or 3, you know, or whatever period of time. Or I'm not getting money that I had planned for something that I'd already planned for earlier, and now I'm getting it to give to someone that has requested, and then I cannot achieve that. Remember, we mentioned you set financial goals and you work towards achieving them. So don't get money you're supposed to use for something else and give it to someone because I've asked for it, because you're very kind. Those are all the boundaries I had for you. But there are things you need to know, by the way. One is that as you're setting these financial boundaries, other people are also having their financial boundaries. So as you're expecting people to respect your boundaries, you should also be able to respect other people's boundaries. You shouldn't expect others to respect yours when you cannot respect theirs. So keep that in mind, that if you go to someone and request for money and they say no, be comfortable with it and be cool. Don't again hold grudges because so-and-so said no. Because remember, you're also learning to say no for your own financial health. Yeah, and then the other thing you have to keep in mind and know that as you start to put these boundaries into place, some of your people, your friends, your family are going to react negatively. They're not going to take it well because maybe they're not used to you saying no to them. They're not used to you saying them you cannot afford a particular thing. So they may react negatively, but again, please don't feel guilty. It's your right. It's really your right to know how to use your money right or appropriately. So you should be comfortable saying no, comfortable with them reacting negatively, know that it's a normal reaction, and over time they actually learn to deal with it. They learn to say, okay, this is now normal. They say no and they are cool and they move on, you know. If you have enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Again, subscribe. I promise it's free of charge. You won't be charged. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on this content. And if you have enjoyed that video even more, it would do me more good if you share it with your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues, so they can also come and watch and help me grow the channel. Thank you very much and take care of yourself. Until next time, bye.